Fan Report. That's right. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and you are watching the Fan Report post-game show. You may be a little bit ahead of me. For me, they're just now getting ready to do this shootout. There's been an agreement in the league that if teams are okay with it, they can practice the shootout. I thought it was really interesting that Berube didn't want to practice the shootout, considering how bad they were in the shootout last year. So it's going to be nice to see the shootout. I haven't seen it. So if you're ahead of me, just bear with me as I try and figure this out. I'm surprised that it even got played because originally it was said it was only going to be in the St. Louis area. However, I'm getting to see it. At the moment, the Blues have lost the regular game 5-2. And we'll talk about that a little bit. I seen some things in there that are interesting. I didn't catch it until the middle or almost the end of the first period. So I got to watch all the second and all the third. Sorry, it's a little hot in here under these lights, but we'll just work with it as best we can. Hey, this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. You're watching the BlueNote Fan Report on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Please don't forget to share this out. Let your friends know about the BlueNote Fan Report. This is the only place that is by fans, for fans, and about you, the fans. If you want your voice heard, this is the place. So here we go. Let's see what happens in the... Looks like Berube scored, or Kyrou scored. Oh, no, this was... Okay, I just saw the Columbus one. So like I said, I'm a little off. I'm behind you. There's nothing I can do about it. Oh, there we go. I'm trying to catch things up and see what's going on. Got a good little piece of news from the NHL today. I'll share with that here in a little bit. Sounds like there we go. I'm trying to figure things out, guys. I apologize. Okay. Okay, so the Blues win the shootout 1-0, with Kyrou being the only goal. And at that point, okay, I got to turn this down a little bit so I can hear a little better. Okay, so let's talk about the game that we saw tonight. This is one of the stinkers, and you expect it to come down. I didn't see a lot. So let's go. We got Ashley. We've got Chris Shockley. saying overall sloppy. I agree with you. Asking about how Brown played. I heard his name a lot. I didn't see him a lot. It looks like he seems like he played pretty good. He's going to start in the AHL. I mean, he's not going to be in the NHL. I'm pretty sure of that. Chris Shockley says he didn't really notice him. I think Brown makes the team, but he don't think Brown makes. And actually, I absolutely agree with you. I don't think he makes the team either. Woo, man, it is hot in here. Little Nelly getting hot in here. Yep. Oh, wow. So let's go. Okay, so this was not a good game, plain and simple. And I'm sorry. I'm putting this one on Hofer. I am putting this one directly on Hofer. Well, oh, man, that hurts saying you missed Brock. Oh, I got windows open, man. It's 90 degrees here in Hawaii and no wind today, so not much I can do about it. Well, Brock is on a hiatus, and I don't know when he'll be back, so not much I can do about it. Hofer, this game was on Hofer. And I'm sorry, I watched the 3 goals. Maybe one of them wasn't on him, but the 2 in the second period absolutely were on him. And not only that, they were the exact same type of goals that I saw him give up in the prospect tournament. I kind of feel like the Blues announcers may have jinxed him a little bit because they're talking about how high they were talking about how high that hanger was on Hofer. And then right after that, he gives up those 2 crappy goals. Now, neither one, he should have had. Both of them he should have had. They tried to talk it off, but they both should have had it. You're absolutely more cool than Rob is. Absolutely. There is no doubt in my mind. And what I'm afraid of, no, it was not our Hoffman, Ryan. That was not our Hoffman. That was I can't remember which Hoffman that is. I'd have to look it up a little bit later. In the preseason, there's so many names that it really, unless you're there, it's hard to really keep up with them. Unless you're absolutely in the business, and I'm trying to be in the business, but I'm not in it enough where I'm getting, that alertness or that understanding of all that. I'm trying, but I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. Let me do something here real quick. So what I was talking about with Rob is the fact that he is in Portland and the games are basically his kids' time. So his move is going to make it very difficult for him to be on the show. So I don't know how much he's going to be there. I wish it was more. I wish we got it back, but I just don't see it. So we're just going to have to go with me, whether you like it or not. That's all I got to say. It's been tough. I got to tell you, I'm tough. Things are tough on me right now. I may have to go put a hat on. No, he's not related. They did say that, not related to Coach Berube. Oh man. Let me go try and open a door or something. I feel like I'm burnt. I feel like a river of sweat going down me. Give me just a moment. I'll be right back.
Hey, apparently I'm by myself now. I missed what Guy was saying when I was trying to hop in before he hopped out. But I thought that Brown had a couple of good, moves defensively. I think that he has potential, but I don't think he makes the team. I'm not Guy. I'm also not Rob. I'm not cool. But I'm hoping Guy will be back in just a second, unless he just left the show for me, which I hope not. Hi, E. There he is. I can't hear you, Guy. You're muted. Guy, your mic is muted.
Is that better?
Yes, now you're on.
There we go. Now I'm not hearing you very well.
Oh, no.
Let me try that. That might help. And then I got to do this. They just said that it was a pretty solid game for Joel Holfer. Oh, come on. Both of those second period goals. I mean, oh, those were giveaways.
It
Right?
wasn't a good
Sorry.
game.
No. That was not a solid game. And this is my issue with some of the media that comes out of the Blues. It's too positive. Call it like it is. That was not a good game for him. And he's had this issue going back to the prospect tournament.
Yeah. I mean,
Right?
I don't dislike Hoffer, but he's got a lot to work on before I could see him, even just being our backup.
Yeah. He's
I
not
think
even
that
close.
Lindgren did really well, though. When Lindgren took over, I'm more impressed with him.
I agree. Lindgren had a good game. I don't think he gave up a goal, though, did he?
Yeah, he gave up
No, he did
one.
gave up one, yeah.
One, and then the
Then the empty
net
netter.
wasn't on him.
Yeah, the empty net. Yeah, obviously. And then, you know what? That brings me to another point. And all you guys, well, the three of you people that are watching that hate the fact that I go off on Berube, this is a Berube issue. You cannot pull the goalie 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes, 40 seconds when you're not controlling the puck to begin with. You're going to give up the goal, right?
Well, I mean, I really hate when he pulls the goalie. I'm not even going to try to defend that. But we actually had more control of the puck than we have been having. We had more shots.
Okay.
Right.
We had more shots, but we didn't have, and I haven't seen the shot chart yet, but I can't wait to go look at it. I bet you we had a lot less high quality shots. I think we had a lot more shots from around the perimeter.
Yeah.
Right? That were very easy for the goalie to see. They weren't really rebound. In fact, the first goal we got was a rebound goal. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's what needs to happen. You need those goals in the house. Right? And that if you take the two dots, right? The two dots, and you draw lines from the center of the face-offs. You know what face-off circles, right? Mm-hmm. So you take the two face-off circles and you draw a line from the center of the dots to the goal line, and then you come back to just over the top of them, top of the circle, and then come across. That is your house, right? That is your area where you want to take those type of shots that are going to give rebounds up, mm-hmm. that are going to allow you to get the rebound goal, and that we're not seeing. I'm sorry. So also Noel Eckert says that their goalie was pretty good. They had their starting goalie in. So I will give that, right?
Oh, and he's like 6'5" before you add the skates. He's a wall.
Yeah, 6'6" without skates, 77 inches tall. He's big enough, and then he's a big man, not just tall, but he's wide up top. Yeah. So even when he was in the butterfly, he was covering a lot of the net. Okay, You know how you beat guys like that? Low shots to the pad, right? Low shots to the pad. It forces them out of the net. It forces them to kick, right? And give up rebounds. They're not, and they're giving up juicy rebounds because they can't control where the rebound's going. Yeah. Right? That's what you need to do to beat a goalie like that. And I didn't see that in the second or the third. Right? I did not see that at all in the second or third. And that's concerning to me. Right? Where's the adjustments? Columbus didn't have either of their regular goalies dressed. Okay. Then who was the goalie they had? I thought he was one of their regulars, to be honest. But see that at that point, that even ups my point. We had the guys in the net lose 4 regulars and their third and fifth goalies. Okay. Berube was the second goalie, not the first. Berube was that second goalie. The first one, let me see if I can look this up. I know Bob
can't remember the name, but it was like a Russian name that started with I wanted to say it. Hold on. I'll look it up.
Taranov.
Yeah.
Tarasov. Tarasov. He was 25 for 26 with a .952 goals against average and probably a 1.5, probably a 1.12 GAA. Just kind of guessing there, since he didn't play the full. He only played 40 minutes, or just at 40 minutes. So the GAA is going to be a little skewed there. But and then again, okay, so positive. 26 shots in the first 2 periods. Positive. Mm-hmm. Negative. They were not high quality shots. Like I said, I need to look at the shot chart, but I'm pretty sure just from what I've seen, they were not high quality. Now, Wallman's goal was a good goal. I will admit that. Mm-hmm. I'll say that. Merlikins and Karasov. Yeah, I can't say it either. I knew Merlikins, Elvis Merlikins. I knew that, and I can't say the other one. But yeah, okay. So I thought one of those was in. So Tarasov is their top AHL goalie. So that right there, that makes me wonder if you're going to face 2 minor league goalies and you can't score on them. Right? That gives me some pause. We did okay. So you say that we only had 4 regulars. Yeah, but you have Neil in there who's an NHLer. I mean, he's older, but he's still an NHLer, right? You have Joshua in there with NHL time. You had Brown in there with NHL time. It's not like you put out a prospect tournament roster to play this game. You had enough guys out there that have NHL experience, right?
I mean, I will say that this is probably the least of our NHL that we stuck out there, though. Most of this team tonight was our AHL team. So I'm not entirely surprised by how poorly we performed. I'm not upset. I mean, this.
No, I'm not. It's just, but patterns. We've talked about patterns on this show, and I know that players hate it, right? Mm-hmm. But patterns are a way of life, and they're very. If you continue to do the same thing, the pattern will never change, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the same style not change. You see Berube, 2 goals down, 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes left, pulls the goalie. Well, you know what? Now's not the time to pull the goalie, right? Don't pull the goalie when you're taking a deep faceoff. Pull the goalie when you have control of the puck, and you can start moving the puck around and use that extra guy effectively.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I admit, I'm not a pundit. I don't have any NHL experience. I broke my ankle. I broke my arm trying to just pop a puck in the net. So I admit that. But I have enough watching experience to sit there and go, for all you 8 child of the 80s and was that? I can't think of his name now. Arsenio Hall. Right, there we go. So that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm looking at, right? I wish Hacky Hound was around because I'd love to have him on and hear what his perspective on this, because he's a Columbus Blue Jackets guy. But for me, the issues, first and foremost, that you can't sit there and say that Hofer had a good game when the plan was for him to play 2 periods and they pull him in the middle of the second. Mm-hmm. Okay, at that point, the coach, that 3rd goal was an absolute, you have to stop that goal.
Yeah.
You cannot let that go. That was not, I called it a 3-on-2. I'll try and look at it a little bit later, but no, that's not, that's a goal you have to stop.
I agree.
Right? You have to stop. Brian Green says, good thing, let me bring this up. Ooh, there we go. Good thing this was a preseason game to build off of. This is a good way for every team to see who's ready and who isn't. You're right. That if you want to look at it completely that way, you're right. I'm with you. I'm on board with you. I really am. But, and I say this, and I'm not trying, believe it or not, I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly. You look for improvement, correct? That's what you want. From game 1 to game 2 to game 3 to game 4 to game 5, all the way to game 8, you want to see improvement. Right? And I didn't see that in this game. Hofer has not improved. In fact, I think he took a step backward.
I agree. But you also got to remember, we're probably not going to see improvement game to game until we start throwing out our regular roster, because they're changing that lineup so much because it's preseason that it's different people every night.
Okay, see, this is why I disagree, and because these are the guys that are fighting for jobs, right? These are guys, the guys that we're putting out there are guys that want to be in the NHL. Mm-hmm. If you want to be in the NHL, play like it. Hofer's not playing like it.
Oh, I am 100% with you. I'm not impressed with Hofer.
Okay, well, remember, I said that, and I'm not trying to be unhumble or anything. I talked about that on the first show at the preseason, with that preseason tournament. I did not like, that prospect tournament. Hofer did not impress me at all. 3 of his 4 goals were, I think I could have stopped those, Ryan Green says, remind me of last season where the lineup changed a lot. All year long, guys fighting for their jobs. Well, that's, I don't want to put this on Berube. I really don't. However, there's been a couple of changes that make me think that Berube nearly needs to he knows he's under a gun. I'll tell you what. I think Berube knows that he's under a gun. I think he's been pulled into the office and told that you need to do better. Mm-hmm. Right? Montgomery coming down, working with the penalty kill. Guess what they did? Gave up another power play goal. Right? Special teams. That was a good special teams power play goal. Wallman is starting to come into his own. I do agree with that. I do admit that. Wallman is coming to his own, but Mikkola is 6'6". I want to see that guy with that long ass stick get it in the lanes like he's supposed to. And I haven't seen that yet.
I agree with Shockley, what Shockley just said.
I don't think Hofer will ever be a St. Louis Blue, either trade or career minor leaguer. I'm with you on that. I saw Hofer practice, and I saw the same type of things that we're seeing now in practice, right? The NHLers were tearing him apart. They really were. So we're there. And here's E, who's a former goalie, but goalies have to be able to play the same regardless of who is in front of them. Right? This brings me to a great topic. I think you know where I'm going to go, Ashley. Let's talk about the last article we released ranking the 8 goalie tandems in the Central. I stirred up a little bit of a hornet's nest when I wrote that. Now, I'll tell you, when I originally wrote that, I had the Blues at 4th. I really did. But I didn't have that there is no way that Winnipeg with Holobuck is the 4th best tandem in the NHL. Right? I'm sorry. In ESPN's article, they talked about Bennington's good regular season, but brought up his questionable postseason being 0-9. Okay, I thought that was fair. But Holobuck got swept by Montreal, by Carey Price. He did not play well in that series, and yet you're going to say that he's the 4th best goalie? Because they said who's with them doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I think it does, because he's not going to play 80% of the games. He's not. He's going to play closer to 60. He's going to play. His backup is going to get 30 to 35 games. It's going to happen, right? Otherwise, you're going to burn him out, and then you're going to have the same playoff issue, right? And in my eyes. So in that case, that's why I put him at 8th. I think that they're going to give up a lot of goals. I don't think they're going to score goals. And this is going to be the Central Division. Uh-oh.
Hey, Rob.
Uh-oh.
Thanks, buddy. But I think you're awesome.
Let's see what we can do here real quick. I seen that. I seen that. I seen that. Okay, let's go and throw that in there. Okay, let's come back. So let's go over my rankings. So at number 8, I had the Winnipeg Jets. And I know when you're ranking goalie tandems, to me, you have to also look at the team performance. Because of every position, the one that is tied to team performance the most is goalies. So if you have a team that you don't think is going to perform very well, you can't rank that tandem high, especially when okay, let's say Hollaback gives up 2 goals a game. Are they going to be able to score 2? I don't think so. Right? Where's the goal? I mean, they don't have Patrick Laine anymore. They got Dubois. I don't see them having.
Can you get the light back on? Sorry. Having
the type of guys that are going to go out and score the goals that they need to score. I really don't.
Hey, can you take her upstairs to bed, please?
Now, the next one that I went to was Arizona. Now, ESPN had Arizona ranked as the worst of the tandems. I couldn't go there, right? And first of all, while Carter Hutton did not perform very well in Buffalo, Buffalo didn't perform very well. That is a dumpster fire beyond a dumpster fire, next to a train wreck. Okay, so I can't completely hold Hutton responsible for that. And here's the other thing. I have a feeling that you look at that team. First of all, you have Kessel there, who's a wily veteran. You have Keller. You have some young guys on that team that can perform. They may be one of those teams that says, you know what? I know how bad things are, but we're going to be better than that. Despite what everyone says, they're going to be better. And that's what I think. Hey, everybody, let's welcome in Mr. Rob Stagenborg. Hey, Rob, how you doing, buddy? Welcome back. Been missing you.
It's been a while, but I'll tell you what, I've been, as everybody knows, I've moved out of St. Louis, halfway across the country. And the reason why I'm jumping on is I just saw tonight Jaden Schwartz scored his first goal for the Kraken, by the way.
Nice. Right?
Yeah, so it was a nice little rebound. But I got to tell you, up here, not a lot of Kraken action, at least where I'm at.
Yeah, you're a little too far south, I think.
But even up in Seattle, I spent the weekend up in Washington. I was talking to a guy, and he had a Kraken shirt on, and he said that it's, the games will be packed, but it's just not as crazy as it is like the Blues are back home. So
yeah, well, that's going to come, and again, see, there's something that. Oh, I don't agree with this. I actually think they have one of the better names in the NHL. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry, Ryan. I disagree with you there. Ryan. Here's a good question for the future. Do you think Berube's relationship will be better with O'Reilly than Pietrangelo? It better be. In my eyes, I mean, it better be. Because, I'm sorry. Berube's on a hot seat, in my opinion. Right? And I've seen it. I see it now in some of these little bitty moves they're making. Right? Let's bring in Hitchcock as a coaching what was it? Where did they consultant. Okay. Oh, Montgomery, you're going to now be on the bench instead of up in the press box. Right? You don't make those moves unless you have issues that you want to address, that you don't feel were being addressed properly by the person who was supposed to address them. Right? Agree or disagree?
Well, I mean, Army, again, I'm just catching news from the way I hear. They just signed him to a 5-year deal, is what I understand.
Yep.
So obviously someone's got faith in him. I was a little surprised that they went that long on his deal, because I think there's as much pressure on Doug Armstrong as there is on Craig Berube, to be quite honest with you, I think.
Well, you know what? Everybody, I've heard that a lot. Oh, I think I just broke my chair.
Oh, no.
Hold on. There we
You
go.
breaking things. You better watch it. Stop breaking.
Ah, shut up. That felt good. That felt good to say. Really, that did. That felt good to say, Rob. No, I say that Armstrong doesn't have as much on him now as we thought he did. This 5-year deal solidifies, and this is for GMs. A lot of times, this is a guaranteed deal, right? So if he gets fired, he's getting all that money.
What if they tank and they're out of it, and people are upset about him? Do you think?
No. If they tank, it's Berube that's gone.
Yeah.
Right. It's Berube that's gone, and the fact that Berube's in, I think he's got 1 more year left, right? Maybe 2 more years left. He's at that point. 1, right?
1.
He signed a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
So this is year 3. This is his lame duck season. Right? This is where we need to have solidness, and we don't. Right? If Berube was the guy, he gets an extension preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I brought this up to a couple of beat writers, and they both kind of was like, we're not really worried about it. I tell you what, I think maybe we should be worried about it, because when you look, it's not the totality, or it's the totality of it. It's not the, you look at Berube himself and you go, okay, I haven't seen anything to make me think that he's in trouble. Mm-hmm. Okay, on Berube. But now let's look at the totality. First thing they do, they bring in Hitchcock as a coaching consultant. That immediately causes me some concern.
And then they traded his favorite player.
Then they trade his favorite. Well, yeah. Well, no. Then they trade his favorite player. Armstrong gets extended, and in game 3 or 2 of the preseason, Montgomery goes from the box down. All of that tells me somebody's not happy.
So where's Ott and Van Ryn? Are they still with the? Van
Ryan's gone. I think Van Ryn left last year, I think.
No, he was there last year. I know he was last year.
Oh, then he's still Van Ryn. No, I thought Van Ryn left for some reason. I got to take a look at it.
I know Ott was being considered for a head coaching job. Steve Ott was, but
he was being considered for the Buffalo job.
Yeah. But
I think that was the only one he was considered for, and that more had to do with him playing in Buffalo than anything else. He's not ready at all. I got Wendy here, and he's talking Blackhawks hockey, so I'm kind of ignoring him as much as I love him. But hey, Wendy, Friday, man, I know. Are you going? If you're not going to the game on Friday, would you be willing to come on for a pregame and a postgame show? I actually don't think I'm going to do intermission shows right now. The last 2 intermission shows I did weren't enough people watching to make it worth my while, right? And I got to be honest with people. If you want me to be completely honest, I've lost a sponsorship deal because of the lack of viewers. I had a very lucrative sponsorship deal in place that has gone away, right? And they just said, 10 people's not enough. It's not enough for us. And I'm talking lucrative deal, and in that case, you got to understand, I was counting on that to be able to forward the show. And now that's not there. I got to start working, guys. And my working hours are going to be right in smack dab in the middle of the game. So how do I do both? It's tough. It's really tough. It's tough on me. It's tough on everybody, but we'll go. Fleury hasn't playing today. No, he hasn't played yet. I don't think he's played yet for Chicago. I think we'll see Fleury on Saturday or Friday, right? I could see you're either seeing Fleury Friday or Saturday, right? I don't think that the Kansas City game means as much to them as it means to us. Mm-hmm. Though that is kind of a big game in Kansas City. I could see Bennington and Fleury start that Kansas City game more than I can see. For me, Chicago would start him then instead of the home game, because that they're looking at that away game as more of a home game, or we're looking at it as a home game too. Right? That crowd is going to be 50-50 in Kansas City, at least in my eyes. I see that game being a lot more 50-50. right? And that's what I see. Today was their first preseason game. Yeah, so they've got, I don't know, I know they play Friday and Saturday, so they got the 2 games. So if I don't know, I think you might see, if that's the case, I see Fleury. Well, I don't know. I could see Subban, because Subban needs to get some lift. I could see Subban on Friday and Fleury on Saturday, right? I don't think they're worried about crowd, or introducing him to the crowd. I don't think they're worried about that. Would Fleury play after this season if the Blackhawks do well this year? Yeah, I think he will. But I also think, let's say, and this is why I dropped in my rankings, right? Did you get the chance to read that article, Rob?
I was able to skim it. Like I said, I've been in training for my new job all day, so it's hard for me to do stuff.
But so let me kind of pull something up here real quick. I want to make sure I get my info. I wrote the article. Basically, ESPN wrote an article ranking all the goalie tandems, and they basically had the Central had 6 teams in the top 16. Okay, I agreed with that. But when I looked at where the teams were, I shook my head and said, I don't agree with this. So this is how they had the Central ranked. They had Arizona in dead last at 32nd, the Stars at 25th, which I find hard to believe with all the cups over there. They had, cups and finals appearances. They had the Blues at 16th. They had the Wild at 14th. They had Nashville at 11th. Chicago at 8th. The Jets at 5th. And the Avalanche at 4th. I don't agree. I didn't agree with that at all. Right? I didn't agree with that at all. So this is the way I ranked them. I had the Jets at 8th. Arizona at 7th. Dallas at 6th. The Blackhawks at 5th. The Predators at 4th. Minnesota at 3rd. Colorado at 2nd. And St. Louis at 1st. First of all, that should have surprised a lot of people because I've been super hard on Blues goalies.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm doing this, listen, I originally had the Blues at 4th. I did not believe they were 6th. But as I'm looking at the numbers and I'm going through it and I'm going, well, wait a minute. If you're going to hold this against this goalie, but not against this goalie, okay, now this is going to bump that goalie up. Their ESPN held the ESPN held the 0-9 against Bennington, but didn't hold Hollebeck getting swept by Montreal. How do you do that? Right? Hollebeck is going to play 80. If he does, he plays 80% of the game. Well, you know what? He's going to be burned out come playoffs. I don't want to play in 80% of the game. I want him in that 65 to 70 range. Right? I want him playing 55. I want him playing 50 to 60 games. Right? Mm-hmm. And if he's going to play 60 to 70 games, well, he's not going to be ready for the playoffs. He's an older player. He's going to be burned out. That's what happened last season. And that's why the 0-4 is a lot more important to me from Hollebeck than it is for Bennington because of the wear that was shown. So you can't sit there and rank him 5th overall and overlook the 0-4 performance against Montreal. Right? Mm-hmm. Carey Price completely outplayed him. And yet you rank Carey Price so much lower. Right? Let me see if I don't know if I can pull that story up. I don't know if I have my ESPN Plus signed into just yet. Maybe I do.
How you doing?
I'm trying to remember where they had Montreal. I want to say that they had Montreal somewhere in the top half, but I know they weren't in the top. I don't think they were in the top 10. Oh, let me kind of pull that up. I'm just being, and I'm not being a negative Nelly. I'm being a realist. I'm saying, hey, let's ask Ashley. What am I doing?
You're trying to come up with your compliment sandwich, aren't you?
Close, but remember the other thing that I told you I was doing?
You're asking questions, guy.
Being curious, not judgmental. and I'm being curious to why things are the way they are. So they had Montreal at 12th with Carey Price and Jake Allen. Well, for the same thing that you're saying for Hellebuck at 4 or at 5, you're blowing over for them. So at that point, the Hellebuck argument no longer holds water for me, and that's why I dropped them so low. But I got you both speechless now.
No, for me,
I'm reading what Ryan's saying.
Goalies it's meaningless because it all goes back to the defense. It goes back to so many factors that, if your goalie's being peppered with shots the entire game in a playoff game by some elite, some of the elite athletes, it's hard to hold that against the guy. I still think Connor Hellebuck's a good.
No. Let's stop.
You have your opinion. I got mine, man.
Yeah, you're right. However, and Ashley, you and me have talked about this, right? About, not putting everything on the goalie, but the goalie's your last line of defense. And there's a difference between a soft puck that rolls through the 5-hole and a laser shot to the corner, right? And you have to look at, if it's a laser shot to the corner, I'll give it to the goalie. I'll give it to the shooter all day long. But if it's a rebound that gets given up, that's on the goalie. It's the goalie's job not to give up those rebounds or not to put those rebounds in juicy spots. So you really have to look at the totality of it. Ashley, you told me this. Totality and not just certain stats. And that's what I'm looking at, totality.
Mm-hmm.
But then how can you rank Bennington so high? He hasn't really had a totality.
Okay. First of all, because I'm basing this off of what ESPN does. Why are you going to hold Bennington's 0-9 against him, but not other goalies that got swept and put them so high up? Right? The totality of it is, in the regular season, Bennington's numbers are just shy of being elite. Okay? And in the Central, he is elite. Right? He would be number 2 or 3 over. If you just went Central from last season's stats, he'd be 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. Right? I'd have to pull it up, but I know that he had numbers that were as good as his overall numbers were 13th in the league. 13th overall. That's not, that's not something you just go, you throw away. Mm-hmm. And I can't pronounce his name. It looks like Ligma Teabag. Right? Saying hi. Hey, Ligma, how you doing?
Ligma Teabag. Yeah, there you go. Nice name.
Hey, let him go. Taze is back. Yep, Jonathan Taze is back. Keith is on the Oilers now. That's true. I don't know what they're talking about.
They're talking about Chicago having lost key players. The Ligma
first of all, when I look at the Blackhawks, I look at a team that's very. They're going one or two ways, and you're going to know right away which way they're going to go. Mm-hmm. They're going to be really, really good, or they're going to be really, really bad, and you're going to know it right away. Within the first 10 games, you're going to know which side of that they're on. I don't think they're going to be mediocre. They're either going to be down at the bottom, or they're challenging for. They're up in the top. They're not in that mid zone in my eyes. And you look at this division, goals are going to be hard to come by, right? That's another thing that I had issue with when it came to that article by Rutherford about, Tarasenko being a 60-goal scorer. You look at the goaltending in the Central the last 5 years, it's been the best in the division, in the league. If you've got a division that has that good a goaltending, you're not going to get some guy scoring 60 goals. Right? Well, Rob, when you need to jump off. No issues, bud.
Okay.
right? We'll have you as long as we can have you. I'll probably go about 15 more minutes. I'm at the
Just wanted to say hi to
45-minute mark.
everybody and check in. And like
It's
I
great
said, I
to
mean,
see
it's
you.
kind of interesting watching the Blues from a distance because I'm not really involved in the day to day, some of the nitty gritty. I heard about Stanford getting traded, and I realized that was going to be a big deal because so much, so much discussion about him over the past year
Yep.
on our show. Hell, I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Logan Brown, he grew up in St. Louis. He's a hometown player, so I'm not sure how players, sometimes they react well, sometimes they don't react well. So be interesting to see what the plans they have for Logan Brown. So
I played with his dad. Well, his dad was on my alumni team.
yeah, Jeff Brown, exactly.
Yeah. Right. His dad was on my alumni team. So I've sent him a couple of texts. So I'm hopeful. Oh, what you don't know, Rob, and I don't think you've caught this. Saturday, I have an interview with Yvonne Barrett.
Oh, really? Okay.
Do you know who Yvonne Barrett is?
He's a former player, right?
No.
Then I don't know who he is.
Trade me right fucking now.
Oh, he's the slap shot guy. That's right.
The slap shot goalie, yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how fun that's going to be.
Guy, you muted yourself.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Here's what I plan on doing. I'm going to interview him Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to release that interview after the game Sunday night.
Awesome.
Right? So we'll do the post-game show. We'll do a trunciated 25, 30-minute post-game show. And then we'll release. Then I'll have that video ready for release.
That's awesome. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see that. It's been great.
Yeah, he told me some great stories. It's going to be a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. Well, guys, I need to get some work on.
One last thing. I was supposed to say, Ashley, I've been following you on social media, and good luck with school. I'm glad you passed that first test. I've been following you guys, even though I haven't been able to participate. I've definitely been keeping up with what you guys been doing. So rock and roll, everybody.
Okay. Oh, here's a good one that we get to talk with just before we go away. Let me bring it up here. Your thoughts on Eichel getting the captaincy taken away? Big whoop. Big whoop.
He's not playing.
He's injured. He has a neck injury. It's not a big deal. It's like it's. I've been watching Ted Lasso, right? And I love this show. I love the guy, and he's with the older player who had a bad game. He's sitting in a tub full of ice water that's like ice cold, and he's talking to himself saying, "Oh, I did this and I did that." And Lasso goes, "Big whoop, big whoop." Be a goldfish. It doesn't matter. But this is exactly why I was so against us trading for Eichel. Yes, I was. I was not on that Eichel train when somebody at the bottom here was on the Eichel train. I wasn't. So I just got to go there. So hey, everybody.
Actually on the Eichel train. I think that was somebody else.
No, you were on. You were up there in the caboose or in the engine going, toot, toot, Eichel, we need Eichel. Yes, you were.
That sounds like me. Yeah. Okay.
See, Ashley knows I'm right. Ashley, I can see it on her face. You know I'm right, don't you? Yeah, he was on that Eichel train. Right?
I was not.
No, you were with me on this one. And I appreciate that. But I was not on that Eichel train. And again, if you watch this show and if you read our articles, and I'm sorry, I'll stand behind this. Any of the beat writers, and I consider myself a beat writer somewhat, though I'm not on the beat. I'm trying to be on the beat. Every single one of them. Say again.
You're the
beat off writer. Or the beat off writer, whatever you want to say. I mean, I don't know how you want to call it. I'm dyslexic.
Okay.
I silenced him.
You did. Oh, and then he went away. Now it's just our show.
Yeah, I know. And I'm getting ready to cut out of here. It's getting dark here.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Getting
Well, it
late.
is dark here, so.
Yeah. Hey, I miss my White Castles. That's the one thing I do miss is White Castles. I don't care about emos or none of that. Just White Castles.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Well, I was just getting ready to say I'm getting ready to head out. It's getting dark here, man, and I'm starting cold and stuff. But good talking to you, bro. I'll catch up with you guys next time, and goodbye to everybody else. Okay. Goodbye.
Yep. Hey, take it easy, Rob.
Bye.
Before we go away, the last thing what I wanted to say was, and I know Ashley can back me up, when every other person out there said Tarasenko would be traded before training camp, I'm one of the few, if not the only one, that said, no, I don't think so. Right?
I agree with you there. And I really didn't say much about it. I was hoping he would still be here because I love Tarasenko. I mean, I have the only jersey that I have with a name on it is Tarasenko. So, I mean, I'm happy he's still here, but I didn't expect it either.
Well, I said when that story came out, something didn't smell right.
Mm-hmm.
Something's not right in Denmark, or something's rotten in Denmark. And actually, no, I don't think so. See, that's the thing that you need to look at. He had value. That value got driven down, and that value got driven down by all the negative press.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened. And I think, in my eyes, the Blues wanted that to happen because they want him, if he's going to score 40, let him score 40 for us.
That makes sense.
Right? And I will stick by that. I'll stick by that. I almost can guarantee you, I'll say 90% sure that leak, that information that got to Rutherford came from the Blues front office.
Oh, I'm sure of it. It would be the only thing that makes sense.
Right? Because of how negative it was put out there. Right? Well, but it's okay. And Chocolate goes and Target sold his jerseys that, that was reaction. That's the stupidity of it. Everybody bought into all that negative press. You got it. And I'll tell you, even when it comes from me, take a step back and read between the lines. Mm-hmm. Read what's being said between the lines. I read between the lines. There's no way he was getting traded. I loved that his jerseys were cheaper, but if I was a store owner, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I agree. And then I I felt it was a little off because after they had announced he asked for a trade, he was on, like, someone was posting a video that he personally made for her mom that was ill. And he, was, thanking her for being a fan of him and the Blues. And if he really wanted gone and he really had that much animosity, he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I may actually, and I don't know if I should do this, but I might show you a screenshot of the stuff that's been between me and him. Mm-hmm. And you'll kind of understand where I'm going. I think this just the one comment that he sent me covers everything. Right. So, well, guys, this has been a great show. I've actually enjoyed it. Didn't think I would, but hey, I'm glad. And Ashley, thanks for jumping on with me.
Oh, thanks for having me.
A lot of fun. I'm glad Rob was here. This is good. Yeah. I mean, we're a good group and we're going to get better and we're going to have more fun. Just know, guys, this is you. You make the show, right? If you're watching and your friends are watching and their friends are watching and their friends are watching, you make the show. If you're not watching, the show goes away. And it's that plain and simple, right? Too much energy, too much time for not enough results. And that's what I'm looking at. That's seriously what I'm looking at. So that's why we only did a post game today.
I actually kind of like the post game. I think that maybe doing all those intermission shows might have been overwhelming for people. So maybe pregame and post game might calm that down. Then there's only 2 shows.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the one thing that I see that I don't know if everybody else sees. It's the same people. We're not getting new people. We're not growing, and that's all there is to it. I see the non-growth, and the non-growth tells me it doesn't matter whether I do 1 show or 10 shows. Right? It's that enough people don't think it's good enough to get out. That's what non-growth is.
Yeah. I think that there's some ways we can fix that. We can talk offline.
Yep, no problem. Okay, everybody, this is Guy, the Why Blues fan, and Ashley Jones. I always wanted to ask you, are you related to Davey?
No.
Probably should ask you if you even know who Davy Jones is.
Yes, and his locker.
Ah, wrong Davy Jones. Gotcha.
Oh, you're talking about the singer.
Yep.
Yep, no.
Hey, we're the monkeys.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
People say we monkey around. We're too busy singing to let it get us down. Aloha!